Hey, welcome back to the channel. Got a little something on the bench for you here. So this is the Radiomaster Zorro. I've got the AG01 Gimbles in it. So that's what this video is about. We have, the stock versus the AG01s. And I mean, they're expensive. These gimbals are the price of the radio, basically. Whether that's worth it. And then some of my power, powering it from a 5200 pack. Was my math right on the amp draw? Yes. Are the AG01s a must-have for new pilots? Maybe not. That's what this video is about. We're going to crack this thing open. We're going to replace the gimbals. I'm going to show you a couple differences between the stock and the AG01s and kind of give my opinion on it. I've got hundreds of packs through this thing now, so I feel confident in telling you what I found. So stay tuned. Alright, so basically, just wanting to let you know, with the Zorro, I have a playlist on the channel, so if you go to my playlist, everything I do with the Zorro is in there. One of the things that was kind of interesting, other than just unboxing, unbagging, that sort of thing, was the amp draw test. How much of an amp hungry is this thing? How fast is it going to eat batteries with this Pro module? What about the 4-in-1 internal module? So the math seemed to be correct. I'm running a 5200 2S pack. This is a truck pack. That's powering my radio and my goggles. I have this cord here, and I just wanted to let you know that this cord is something else. So it plugs in here, and then this has like a strain relief to it. But I've hooked this on my chair and ripped that plug right out of the cord. So I have a couple cords. I think I would probably recommend, if you're going to do it the way I'm doing it, maybe have a couple of these on hand, or maybe 3D print a better solution so where this will unplug from the LiPo rather than ripping it down. Because the way this is designed, it actually pulls. If you pull on this cable, it forces it to pull down, and then this plastic piece right here will flex and allow that connector to kind of fold itself down before it pulls out. So that's happened to me, and so I went ahead and got a couple of these cords. Not a huge deal, but just letting you know that it does drain this pack down pretty good. I can definitely get an entire full fly day out of it, no issue there. But the 350 packs with that module on there, I don't think it's going to be a very good time. Having to always turn it off, run a heat, turn it off, turn it back on, run a heat, is not something I want to do. I'd rather have the radio on, and then not worry about it. The cool thing is this does have a fan, so you don't have to worry about it overheating. You just can't set it like this on the table. Because the fan shroud is actually being covered in this position or this position. So that's kind of, you almost want to tilt it up. And that's kind of what I did is, if I set it on the table, I just put something underneath it so it can get some airflow. But as you can see, that intake the intake and the output of the fan on this thing. Anyway, before that video gets too long, let's get to the gimbals. So the AG01 gimbals are different. They do have a bit more smoothness to them. I noticed for me, like when I get real intense, I push down on the gimbal, and the stock gimbal, I could kind of feel that movement. The other thing is it a fair shake to say the stock gimbals are inferior to the AG01s? Not really. I'm going to say that the stock gimbals are pretty good. I'm going to crack open this case, and then I have some zoomed in photos of the differences between the stock and the AG01s. But the one thing that I did, instead of using these set screws here and then going in through the back and using the screws here, these set screws change the spring tension. Okay. The only thing is these screws are in the case, and they protrude into the device or the spring tension on the gimbals. I actually set the AG01 Gimbles up nicely the way I wanted them before I put them into the radio. So I've got this like butter smooth with no tension, no spring. I've taken the lever out. I'll go through all those pictures. And then the spring tension here, I've loosened it up quite a bit so I don't have such an abrupt stopping point. So like on the stock gimbals, I just ran it stock because I wanted a comparison. Like, okay, I want to put 100 or so packs through it. Like my previous video, I was telling you that I was going to try to get all these packs through it. I got 56 packs through the stock gimbals before I just said, you know what, I got to put these in here. So 56 packs, I would have kind of an abrupt stopping point between the springs. Now on the AG01s, I've smoothed that out. I've adjusted things to where the spring tension is looser, so these are much more fluid, if you will, especially the throttle. So there is some fairness there, but I'm telling you right now, if you haven't experienced the AG01s and you're kind of thinking, man, I don't want to buy that radio and then have to spend another $100 on gimbals, I'm here to tell you that the stock gimbals are good. They are ball bearing. The stock gimbals aren't plastic bushings or brass bushings. They actually do have a bearing. The trace is pretty thin. I don't think they're as fluid, but the subtle movements and changes, you know, if you're already using AG01s and you got the money in the bank, you know, by all means, the AG01s are smoother. They do move a little bit more fluid. They seem to have just a tiny bit more throw. So the AG01s are nice. I've already flown a radio with those gimbals. So I will say that these gimbals are smaller. So the throw between the Radiomaster TX16S and with the AG01s and the minis, they are smaller, but I tell you what, it's benefited me quite a bit because I can lock my fingers into this module, and just the way I grab onto this radio, I'm moving the whole entire throw of this gimbal without having to move my hand. So I'm pretty happy about that. And I'll be honest with you, I've set this up to where I'm flying everything with it. I'm flying my 1S whoops all the way to my 7-inch with it, and I'm having no issues. It's been quite nice. So I've kind of reiterated why I would recommend this radio. Everything functions pretty good. Let's go ahead and not make this video 3 hours long. We'll go ahead and crack this open, and then I want to show you some of the internal pieces and parts. So I'll probably do some more videos of this as people ask more questions, and I try to answer those questions for those people. I'll just continue to put any content about this in my playlist. So make sure you're subscribed and you got the notification on for things to come. So let's go ahead and crack this dude open. Alright, so we have our Radiomaster on the bench ready to remove the gimbals and do all the things. So obviously I've already done it here. But I just want to let you know it's handy to have a chunk of foam. So you can set the radio up on the chunk of foam so that your gimbals aren't, you know, rubbing against the table or whatever the case may be. So we have the back of the case here, and these are the screws that you will remove. These are Phillips screws. So you have 2 in the battery compartment. You have 2 on this side, and then 2 on this side, and then 2 here. So of those 8 screws you'll remove, and that will release this back case. You do have to remove any external module that you might have plugged in here. Just keep in mind that you're not going to mess with the adjustment screws. These are spring tension, travel tension screws to make your gimbals feel the way you want them to feel. If you want them tighter, you want them, you know, loose, or whatever the case may be. In my case, I adjusted the AG01 gimbals before I put them into the radio, and you can do that as well. These screws actually are part of the case. They are not screws to the gimbals. So these are actually protruding through the case to the components on the gimbal. So that's why I chose to just go ahead and adjust my gimbal exactly where I wanted it, and then maybe fine tune later if I wanted to with these. But I found that for me, I had quite a bit of adjusting to do to get them nice and buttery smooth. So don't mess with these as we take the case apart. One thing you want to keep in mind when we take the case apart, the back cover comes off. You can take this bottom part here and lower it down in here, so you'll have like an L shape, so that you can remove the positive and negative leads coming from the 18350 compartment. So both sides you have to remove these connectors so that you can take the back off. The other thing is, with the gimbals, you do have to remove this main control board. So you do have to unwire the gimbals and the switches from the main board, and also you'll have to remove the ribbon cable from the main board. I didn't take my main board all the way out, so I only removed the wiring that was necessary. So like just the switch wires here, these two switch wires, I removed those. I removed these two switch wires as well, and then the gimbal wires I removed. But I left the ribbon and the other wires intact, like this one down here, because I could just fold this, you know, just raise this main control board out enough to where I could get the gimbals in and out. So that is a choice that you can make, whether you want to remove the board completely or remove the, you know, just tilt it up. Now I have some photos for you here in case you were to get in and start unplugging things and can't remember where they go. So you can see here that all these different plugs go to different places. I have a couple different angles for you. So I have one angle going in. So this is your gimbal wire going in here. And then as you can see, here's another gimbal wire going in. And then here's a switch wire lead that comes up to here. And then this is your other switch wire lead going into here. And then other components, auxiliary components here, and your ribbon cable here. On the other side, same thing. We have actually two gimbal wires coming out of the hole on this side because of the way the gimbals turn, those wires come out. And then we have switch components and another switch component here. And then we have these auxiliary components here, of course the ribbon cable, and then just a shot from the other side here, face down. Now just so you can see here, this hole is for those adjustment screws. So you can see that this little tab of metal, and you can see this tab of metal, that's the spring tension on the gimbals, and that's what those hex screws go into. So they go from the back case in through these protruding holes to adjust your gimbal. That's why I chose to go ahead and adjust it. Alright, so we have the gimbal out. As you can see here, we have the board tilted up out of the way so that I could get in here and remove the 4 screws that retain the gimbal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 down in here. And then we have the AG01 and the stock gimbal. Let's go ahead and look at some of the differences on those two. So here we have the stock gimbal. We have the spring tension. So this is basically a spring rubbing on a cam. There's a little lubrication there, and as you tighten this or loosen this, that's what makes your gimbal either really tight or really loose. And then also we have on this side, you can kind of see where that screw goes into the case here. And then there's also a rocker. So we have a fulcrum point back here, and this rocker has a spring load to it. For the throttle side, I removed this rocker. Another image here of the case, so you can see down in where the screw mounting points are. And then also this little plastic piece, this is something that has a screw going through from the main board. It goes on to this plastic hub here. I found it easier just to attach this plastic after it was in the case and then pop that little hub. So let's look at the gimbals. So we have this picture and this picture with the Hall effect sensor, and then the AG01 Hall effect sensor. So it looks like they've done some modification between the two. So here's the AG01, here's the stock gimbal. So there is a difference between the actual Hall effect pickup between the two. And then also, if we look here at the bearings, we can see that the stock gimbal has a really thin race with like aluminum. It's hard to see from the picture. And then here we have steel. You can see the difference between the race of the bearing on the AG01 is much thicker, more pronounced. It has a steel, looks to be maybe stainless, and on the stock gimbal you can see that this the race is a lot thinner, and then also this is like aluminum, so not as high a quality bearing, but you can see that the stock gimbal is a bearing. It's not a plastic bushing like I've seen on other reviews. It actually is a bearing. So as I said before, with the rocker removed on the throttle side, there's a piece here that comes out once you unload this spring from the rocker, and then there's a fulcrum point here with a pin. So here's the gimbal with the rocker in it, so you can kind of see these components. So this part here, the spring, here's the spring here attached to that component, and it just slides up out. When you remove that spring, this will slide up out of the way. The rocker's being retained by this pin. This screw is holding that pin in place, so you can just pull that pin out and remove the entire rocker assembly, spring, and header tension. Once you remove that, here's a better shot of the rocker and spring. Once you remove this component, the rocker, spring, you can create more tension here so that your gimbal is either your throttle up and down is going to be really smooth, or is it going to just fall on its own, or is it going to have lots of tension and resistance? That's up to you, your feel, how you want it to be done. And of course I have kind of a football play of the components and where they go. So as far as putting it back together, it's just the same as in reverse order. I wouldn't say it's an easy thing to do, but it's not something that's extremely difficult. Maybe taking the main control board completely out, it would be a better option, to where you're not having to finagle the gimbals in and out. That's just the way I chose. So I have quite a few races that I've gotten under my belt. I've done some 5-inch racing. I've done some micro 3-inch racing. I've done some whoop racing. I've got practice in. Like I said, I'm about 56 packs on the stock gimbal, just to check these dudes out to see, do I recommend replacing it with the AG01s? Not necessarily. I really think if you're a newer person looking at this radio and concerned about, well, it's just not going to be very good until I upgrade it with these super expensive gimbals, I'm going to have to say that they're great. The stock gimbals are totally fine. To get that nth degree, or to have that more buttery feel, is it worth the money? That's up to you. But I've got a couple hundred packs through it with the AG01s in it, and this radio is performing really well, and I'm happy with it. I'm definitely running it as my main rig. Like I said, if you have any questions about this or comments, let me know, and if this helped you out, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you hated it, man, you give me a thumbs down. It all works. Enjoy the breeze.